Phillip Hughes joined the South Australian cricket side at the start of last season, and his SA teammates and colleagues have been devastated by his death. Reporter Eddie Godfrey is at Adelaide Oval now. Eddie, the South Australian public is also feeling the tremendous loss.
They certainly are, Brenton. There's been a massive outpouring of emotion for Phillip Hughes here at Adelaide Oval, where in just a short space of time he became one of the most loved and respected members of the Redback squad. There's already been tributes and flowers laid here on the Southern Plaza, just outside a window where there's a large image of Phillip Hughes displayed. The big screens above us are showing a rolling slideshow of different images of Phillip Hughes doing what he did best on the cricket pitch. There are tributes inside the ground as well. There's a message that's gone up on the old scoreboard just in the last hour or so. It simply reads, Valet Phillip Hughes, 1988-2014. So a very simple but touching message there for him. The flags around the ground, they've also been brought down to half-mast as a sign of respect. Soccer boss Keith Bradshaw spoke to the media not long after it was confirmed that Phillip Hughes had passed away. It was a very short media conference, a very emotional one. Take a listen to what Keith had to say.
On behalf of the South Australian Cricket Association, I want to say our thoughts and our prayers are with the family of Phillip Hughes' family today. Everyone at SACA is hurting, but our immediate thoughts are for Phillip's family who are with him at St Vincent's Hospital in Sydney. This is a devastating day for all of us who knew Phillip. The entire cricketing community is in shock and struggling to come to terms with the death of such a popular and talented player. Loved by everyone, Phillip was a quality guy and a remarkable talent. He had many friends and teammates both here, interstate and overseas, and it is important that we offer them all the support and space they need to help deal with this tragic event. He will be sorely missed by his cricketing family here in South Australia and all around the world.
So some very touching words there from Soccer boss Keith Bradshaw. There was supposed to be a tour match starting here tomorrow between an Australian 11 side and the Indian side. They've been training out here today in preparation for that. Just a short time ago we received confirmation from Cricket Australia that they will not go ahead tomorrow. There will definitely be no play tomorrow. It may be played over Saturday and Sunday instead, but that hasn't been confirmed. Cricket Australia says it will wait and see how the players respond to this terrible news.
Thank you, Eddie. It's not just the cricket world in mourning. Warren Treadray, our sporting codes are reeling.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Brenton. A number of those sporting codes, especially here in South Australia today, showing their support via social media, and in particular Twitter and Facebook. And a lot of those things, you can talk about the Adelaide Crows sent out a very touching message, Port Adelaide Football Club as well, the SANFL, the local competition here, Patrick Dangerfield, one of the superstars from the Adelaide Football Club, the skipper from Port Adelaide, Travis Boak. This stuff has simply touched absolutely everyone. The 36ers, Adelaide United, the Thunderbirds also sending their support. And it hasn't finished there, guys. If you look at across the world, this has just touched numerous people. Some of the people involved in media who you wouldn't think are even cricket fans. Piers Morgan overseas. We talk about Andrew Bogut in the United States, who finished playing an NBA game this morning. It is such a thing that the Australian game is cricket in summer. A lot of people are desperately hurting here. They know they've lost a warrior on the field. They know they've lost a absolutely brilliant A-grade person off the field. Everyone is in mourning today and sending their tributes. It's such a shocking loss, and it's a desperate thing, that a great thing that everyone in South Australia, particularly around the world, is sending their respects to Phillip Hughes and to his family, who have lost an absolute legend of a person.
Indeed, Warren, thank you. Felt far and wide. From a young age, Phillip Hughes displayed immense talent. Growing up on his family's banana farm in northern New South Wales, that talent soon took him to the Test arena. Centuries and comparisons with Bradman were to follow. Sadly, he was denied the chance to realise his full potential. Tony Jones compiled this tribute.
Like most sportsmen who've reached the top of their game, Phillip Hughes was destined for greatness from an early age. Having originally shown a flair for rugby league, Hughes turned his attention to cricket, and by the age of 12, he was playing in the A's around his hometown of Maxville on the New South Wales north coast. His rise by anyone's standards was meteoric. At 20, he was named in the Australian Test team.
You know, sitting back in the lounge room with your dad, you know, at the age of 15, 16, watching these guys, and now to get on the plane with them tomorrow is definitely a dream.
All those miles have been worthwhile now, and it's very exciting here to be at his first Test.
It was in the series against South Africa where Hughes was finally awarded his baggy green, the 408th Australian to receive the honour. He responded in the most mesmerising of manners.
What a way! What a way to get to your first Test 100!
One I'll never forget, to bring it up in that way.
A century in only his second Test. It'd be a hard act to follow, but follow he did by carving out another ton in the second innings.
Oh, look at that, Darryl, look at that.
He became the youngest Australian since Doug Walters to score a century and the youngest player from any country to score twin centuries in a Test.
Up in the air, over the top, all the way!
Not surprisingly, Phillip Hughes was lauded as our next big thing. So often on the back of batting brilliance, comparisons with Bradman crop up. In the case of Phillip Hughes, though, it might have been premature. He struggled in the Ashes series of that year.
Oh, yes, it's out!
And eventually lost his spot in the team, replaced by Shane Watson. He became something of a fringe player, but reminded us again of what he could achieve at the crease with a third Test century, this time against Sri Lanka in 2011.
Congratulations to Phil Hughes.
The chance to play at Test level again followed the retirement of Ricky Ponting. It would be the retirement of Michael Hussey which paved the way for him to make his one-day debut. And what a debut it turned out to be. A century.
The first Australian cricketer ever to do that. 100 on debut.
To help further his game, Hughes made the switch from New South Wales to South Australia. It appeared the right move.
Our domestic player of the year, none other than Phillip Hughes.
His half-century against the Blues this week again put him in the frame for a Test recall. Sadly, we'll never know just what might have transpired had the cruelest of fates not intervened. Tony Jones, 9 News.